Good evening. We're doing a night stream again. Let's see. All right. Well, let's see. I've got some exciting stuff. Hello, Arvin. How are you, man? You doing well? Thanks for stopping back by. You want to see something cool? This is pretty cool. I've got my bot working now. So let's see. Let me go over here. Let me do .NET run. Oops. The project source. Steve's bot. See, it's offline now, but we should see it come online in a minute. Hopefully. There we go. It's online and it's helping Steven. Nice. You see that? Let's go. And you can see it's receiving events too. Yeah, we're going. Is it weird that the guild create event is the event that's sent whenever you join a server? Because I feel like that's kind of a weird event name. Arvin, I'm fine. How about you? I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. Today has been a good day. Arvin, congratulations. I know it's not like a very big deal, but like I've written a lot of code to like make this work succinctly. So I'm proud of it. It was actually pretty complex from like a state management perspective. It was also kind of complex from a multi-threading perspective because you have to start this client, you have to connect to the client, and you've got to basically run a couple tasks in the background. And then you've also got to manage those tasks. You've got to cancel them, dispose of them, start them again. And so then you have multiple threads accessing shared state on the client that you have to make sure you don't have race conditions. So, I mean, it's been a really fun project. I'm really glad I took it on because I feel like it's made me think harder and more clearly about concurrency and multi-threading in a .NET app, which has been good. Claudenet? I don't know what you said there in the first message, but hello. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by the chat. I don't think I've ever seen you in my chat before, so nice to see you. Okay, so what are we going to do now? That's the question. So the first thing we're going to do is the bot offline. Okay, so I think the next thing I want to do is, oh, now the bot's offline. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I actually want to have the bot update its presence whenever it goes offline. Like before it disconnects, I want it to update its presence to offline. So yeah, so what do I want to do here? I need to do some refactoring. So right now, all that presence stuff lives in this identity event, but I need to refactor it out. Yeah, and I left myself a little note here. Okay, so move this to an update. Yeah, so we need to create a new event called update presence. I think that's how you spell that, presence. Update presence Discord event. And can we receive... I'm not 100% sure on all the different events that you can send and receive. Let's see. Let's see, receive events. Let's see, gateway events. There we go. So you can send these. Where's the receive? There we go. Receive events. See, guild create. Lazy load for unavailable guild. Guild became available or user joined a new guild. Okay. So yeah, so I just need to create this class for that record. Alright, so let's close the sidebar. Let's pull all of this out of here. Update presence. We'll dump that there. Put this in the right namespace. I'm gonna knock my phone off here accidentally. You're from Brazil. Nice, very cool. Well, how are things in Brazil? I've never been there. I haven't been to a lot of places though, so that's not saying much. Hello, Jan. Or should I say Logan? Arvin, I started working on a basic HTTP server. I had a chit chat with Voldy, and they said it makes a good project. Yeah, I think an HTTP server is an interesting project. I think you don't necessarily need to build an HTTP server if you don't want to, but it's probably a good learning experience to understand how HTTP servers work, right? Jiggle Jess, how you doing, Steve? I'm doing good, Jiggle Jess. What's the story behind your username? Like, why Jiggle Jess #1 hater? Why not Jiggle Jess #1 lover? Logan, these night streams are the best. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll keep doing it for a little while. I don't know. I think it just depends on like how I'm feeling, right? Like I'm a vibe streamer. I stream based on my vibes. Arvin, here it's early morning. Yeah, here it's 9:28 p.m. Logan, what is a library of Babel? What is that? Opcode 3. Okay, cool. Let's see. Now we're gonna go to let's see. We're gonna go to my client. Well, actually, hold on. Let me add this so that it's getting tracked by Git. A library with everything. So do you have like, what do you mean a library with everything? Are we talking about like a code library? Are we talking about like a legit library that you're putting books in? Arvin, we are two opposite sides of the spear then. Yes. Which is kind of weird. Time zones like are difficult to think about. Jiggles S. I'm a very professional person by day, but by night I'm a huge piece of shit online. But I've warmed up to you. The respect runs deep. That is the wildest chat I've ever had. I'm a very professional person by day, but I'm a piece of shit online. So does that mean that you are a piece of shit and you just hide it during the day? Is that what that means? Yawn. And for that part, I'm using pi, and I've calculated 8.4 million digits. Wow. Name one digit of pi. Yeah, that's easy. 3.14. If you've ever taken a math class, everyone knows 3.14. Yawn. A digital library. Okay, interesting. Interesting. What motivated you to do that? Let's see. Git. Did that just wipe out my... Huh, that's weird. Do I have a bug in my... Oh, because they're staged. Yeah, they're staged, but they're not committed. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go to my client. Here. And essentially, before I disconnect, I just want to send an update that says I'm already offline. So like right here, we want to do await, send offline. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to send heartbeat. Guess I can make this configurable, couldn't I? But it's fine. It's fine. We'll say private async send null. Actually, we can say so the sense represents how far I am away from the keyboard. Let's see. So I can say What's the difference between idle and offline in Discord? Discord. Idle versus offline. Okay, yeah, so we want offline. That's what we want. So we no list of activities. We are not AFK. We are just offline. That. Jiggle Jess. I mean, I guess I'm not asking people I work with if they kiss their wife. You don't know my name, but ironically, you know me deeper than people who have known me for years. I don't know how I feel about that, man. I feel like that makes me even more skeptical of people I interact with if like what you're saying is true. That like there's people I interact with every day that are just pieces of shit masquerading as professionals. I don't know how I feel about that. Hello, Wave of Entertainment. How are you doing? Jiggle Jeff's got to push those pins, compile those kernels, but when it comes down to it, I'm not plotting evil, but excited for anarchy. I also fear women and respect your marriage. That's badass. So, the whole fear of women thing is a very odd thing that you brought up. Let's go to your channel. What's your channel about here? It's like you posted some videos 9 years ago. Huh. The internet's an interesting place. You never know who you're gonna meet. Dol Sama. So, I'm Dol Sama. You speak in France? I do not speak in France, and nor do I speak French. So I'm sorry, Dol. Jiggle Jess, you should be skeptical. Everyone has inner demons. Mine are mundane compared to real. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big believer in the whole like two different. I think it's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of cowardly. You know, I mean, not to take shots at you, but I don't go for the whole like pretend to be one person in real life and then pretend to be somebody else online. I'm not sure. I don't fuck with that, you know? Like, the way I interact with you guys on stream or the way I act on stream is the same way I act with people in real life. Like, I think you should just be you. This idea of having multiple parts of you, I don't get. No, man, I'm not trying to take shots at you. I think that approach is weird. I don't know. It's not the way I operate. But I mean, it's a free world, right? People, it's the internet. People can do what they want. Oh, I was gonna make sure that's the right. Yeah, offline. Offline. Okay, so that's the last thing I should do before I close this out here. So we'll jump back to the top. Okay, so we're gonna send offline status. Then we're gonna cancel our message task, cancel our heartbeat, and then close. So let's see if it works. Go back to our test server here. So my bot's currently offline. So let's go ahead and start it. Let's see, .NET. All right, so we should start up and we should see my bot come online. Back here in the background, there it is, it's online. Perfect. I'm gonna let it send one heartbeat and then I'm gonna kill it and see if it successfully makes me offline. Logan, I've just finished a bug bounty for Netflix earlier. Oh wow, that's cool. What was the bug? Can you share? I mean, I guess you can't probably share in detail, but I'm just curious, like broad strokes. It doesn't look like that worked. Or if it did work, because I think eventually this will just go offline because I've disconnected. But I'm curious why it didn't. Huh. Yeah, so it eventually goes offline, but it doesn't seem like it goes offline because I sent the presence update. Let's try something different. Let's try sending an idle update. How about that? So let's rename this send idle status async. Let's go here. Instead of offline, let's do idle. And then we'll do this, and we'll do time provider. Oh, that, I don't think I can do that. Get I think that's what I'm supposed to pass there for the sense. Yeah. Unix time in milliseconds of when the client went idle, or null if the client is not idle. An array of activities. Users new status, they're going to be idle. And wonder what the difference is between invisible and offline. I know this is a really small thing to get hung up on. Oh, I see. So you're like connected, but you're offline. It's like a sneaky one. All right, let's try that and see what happens. Wonder if it has something to do with the fact that like it won't update the bot's presence if I've actually closed the connection to the gateway. Arvin, joke's on you. I have 3 personalities: one in real life, one online, and the other one is Homelander living in my head. Jingle Jess, I'm messing with you a bit, but I like to think I'm not a sociopath. My mantra more aligns with we do a little trolling. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. If you like to do trolling, go for it. I'll never understand that, but I don't understand what joy people get out of trolling others myself. Jan or Logan, it was a cookie leak. Oh, interesting. Okay, so did you get paid for the bounty? Jiggle Jess, you're pulling honesty out of me. You're too genuine of a guy, Steven. One day we may work together, though our domains don't cross, but maybe something I work on will save you. We are interconnected now. Okay, fair enough. Mohammed, what about Python? Yeah, nothing wrong with Python, man. I know Python. I know how to write Python. But it's like, of all the languages I know, it's always at the very bottom of the ones I pick from. So, yeah, it's not. But I know if I want to be more knowledgeable in the world of AI and ML, I need to get more chummy, more buddy with Python. Oh, there we go. That worked. And then it should eventually transition to offline, I think. Let's try updating. I want the bot to be fun, so let's try updating the status to be let's add an activity here that's taking a break. Stevens got this. I want to see this thing transition to offline. All right, then after yeah, there it goes. It transitions to offline. Okay, so then after I do this, we will work on actually reacting to an event. So I need to implement the ability to actually react to an event that Discord sends me. So let's say .NET run -- project. Yeah, let's do this one more time. So we should connect. My bot should come online. We'll let it sit here for a second, and then I'll disconnect it. Jiggle Jest, the bottom quarter of the stream is cut off by chat. I don't know if it's user error on my part, but I can't make it go away. I want to see your code. Oh, interesting. I don't know why it would be cut off by chat. Maybe it's user error. Mohammed, underrated, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I built an entire SDK in Python, and while it was a good experience, there it is. While it was a good experience, it hasn't stuck with me the way TypeScript and C# have stuck with me. I like JavaScript too, but I mean, if you're gonna write JavaScript, might as well write TypeScript. Just a better dev experience. It's user error. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So so I've thought about this for a little bit. So if we look at Discord.js, like, I think the thing that's really nice about Discord.js is just the simplicity of the API of their client. So, right, you basically have client, and then you have client.on. You give it the name of the event, and then you give it the callback. So I could do something similar in .NET, but .NET actually, I mean, the .NET way would be to use events. So .NET events. This would be the traditional way. You'd have an event handler, and then people would register their events, and then you notify them. But in that case, you sort of need like yeah, this would be more like to replicate this, I'd need to use like delegates. I need to use more like a delegate approach, where I have like a method that registers things. Yeah, this is just not very native. This wouldn't be kind of a traditional C# way to do this. But I could probably recreate this to some extent. I think that the thing that's nice about doing it this way is you just have to remember one method from the caller perspective. You say .on, whereas I think what I'd have to do is I'd have to have like let's go look at the events real quick so we can think about this. I've lost my documentation page here. Let's see. Gateway events. So basically, I'd have to have. I feel like if I did this the traditional .NET way, I'd have to have like an event handler for every single event. So I need to be like on channel create, on channel update. Or I could just have like a big dictionary. A big dictionary. I could have like a big dictionary that's like private, read only, dictionary, and we could say, yeah, basically exactly what Copilot said. We basically have a a dictionary of event handlers. But I think this would actually be like an array. Can you add to func? Oh yeah, I guess the func's a delegate, so you could add to it, couldn't you? You could have multiple funcs. So you could have something like event handlers. I think you could do that, right? Yeah, so you could just add more and more. The only downside. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's do that. Let's try to implement it that way. Arvin, thanks for helping Jingle Jess with his user error. Jingle Jess, Steven got a big dictionary. Yeah, like in the Python world, you know, it's like dict. You got to be careful with the pronunciation there. All right, let's so we have public on sync, we have public disconnect, and then we're just gonna have let's go to my interface here, and we are going to have public not send async. We don't want to send. We don't want the caller. We basically want the caller to be able to we just do on? And I don't think this is a task, it's just void. It's just on, and then yeah, I think that's okay. I already have a class here. Okay, so we can kind of test this or like play around with this a little bit. So let's go what do I want to say? I basically want to say yeah, so give me the event name. And then we say task. So I think this is where we want to say Discord event. Yeah. Something like that, right? Go back and look at my dictionary. So let's not initialize this. This is just going to be empty. This is going to be an empty dictionary. So then we're going to say public void oh yeah, totally. And actually, instead of doing this, I think what I actually want to do is I want to make sure it's an actual valid event. So we're going to go to Discord event types. We're going to say public static pool is valid event. String events. And I think what we're going to do here is we're going to say, let's say if, yep, if it's null or empty, return. Otherwise, we want to say return event name is ready. And then as I add more, then I can do or, you know, all the others that I'm going to add. There's probably a better way to because this basically every time I add a new event type, I have to remember to also update this, which isn't the greatest. But for now, this is fine for now. We might reconsider that in a little bit, but it's fine for now. So we'll say if Discord event types dot is false, we will throw. And we actually want to build these up. So we're going to just add. That way we can register multiple if we want. Which probably means we need a way to also take them off, huh? Public void off. I don't like if else though. That's fine for now. Okay, so let's go back to our interface and let's add another one here that's void off, like that. I mean, obviously this is kind of over-engineering it because I probably am never going to use this client outside of this application. Yeah. Jingle Jest front-end software is very much outside of my domain. I appreciate how you explain your thought process. My end users are often developers too, and you're helping me understand what they need. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'd call this front-end, but I guess front-end software, I guess that's different than like what I would think of as front-end in web development, I guess. Because you said you do something with like embedded Linux, embedded something or other. But still, usability matters all the way up. You've got a nice grasp on C#. I guess like your intuition helps craft my understanding of good design. Let's see, Jingle Jest. What compiler do you use? And is this Vim or NeoVim or something crazier? This is NeoVim is what I'm in. Oh, what completer, not compiler. Completer. The completion engine I use is called I think it's called NVim. No, I think it's called NVim CMP, I think is what it's called. Completions. Yeah, so I use NVim CMP with CMP NVim LSP. And then I also use some LuaSnip for the snippet completions. Then the auto pairs is how I get the auto pair functionality is how I get like close brackets, or if I type, you know, square brackets, that's where that comes from. And actually, you can see all my NeoVim configs if you type !NeoVim. I think my NeoVim configurations will come up, or a link to them, I should say. Nightbot will help me out here. Thank you, Nightbot. So kind of you. Okay, so let's test if this works. So the idea would be here if I go to my worker, which is where I connect to my that's where I initialize my connection. We should be able to say underscore disclient.on the async method lacks await operators, will run synchronously. Consider using the await operator. Oh. And I can do return completed task. Let's actually see if we can check this. So we'll say if Discord event is ready Discord event. There we go. Excuse me. I don't. Data dot what dot version? Yeah, we can just print that. All right, let's just see if this works. So we'll go back to, although I don't like that I'm capturing the logger in here inside this disclosure. I think what I want to do is I think I want to be able to expose like service provider in here, and so then people can access things that are in the dependency, the DI container. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's just see if this works. So we'll say we'll run our project. All right, that didn't work. The given key ready was not present in the dictionary. Oh, yes, it was not. So if I go back to my on method, I do some unsafe, so go to implementation. Yeah. So I'm just assigning here. I actually need to check and see. So I need to say if contains key is false. We'll do that. Otherwise, we'll add to it. I think that's what we want to do. Now let's try again. I don't think... Oh, because we didn't... we registered it, but we didn't call it. So let's go back over here to... let's see. I think we need to go to receive... Or no, we want handle event. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if this is a good idea, but what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to fall through here. Let's see, set this, set that. I've gone quiet because now I'm thinking. Hello, Wave of Entertainment. How are you doing? Ivan, man, just watching streamers from America just kills my sleeping schedule. Yeah, I mean, it's hard when we're all on opposite sides of the world. You're in Ukraine, right, Ivan? Okay, so basically what I want to do is I've been sitting here staring at this, but I mean, basically what I want to do is I want to say I'm just gonna add it here for now, but basically what I want to say is I want to say yeah, that's essentially what I want to say. I want to say if there is a handler, I don't think I need this to be a warning. I think we just want this to be informational, probably. Also, I'm gonna say var event type this way we don't have to do that every single time. This is probably not how I'm gonna leave this, because I don't totally love the fact that it's like a switch here for no reason. Alright, let's try this now. So now this should call our handler. Yeah, there we go. That's not really the user ID, but it's the... And then here's an event we received we didn't have a handler for. Okay, cool. So that's working. Now let me test real quick. Let's see. Worker. Yeah, worker. Let's see if we register multiple. Do multiple get called. So let's go down here. And let's say logger.log information ready handler 1. Now let's add another one, and let's say, yeah. Now let's see if both of those get called. Yeah, they both get called. Okay, cool. All right, nice. I love it. Right, so this is much more. This is so much more in the vein of Discord.js, right? So I love that. And we could probably we probably could do this in our program CS, honestly. We could probably have like a special method on the services collection. So that when we add, like we could probably have a callback or something that's like add gateway client with a callback that provides us the client, and then we could probably register those yeah, like we could have something like builder.services.add gateway client, and then we could have something like client this, and then here we could do something like c.on, right? I'm not going to do that yet, though. So the next thing I want to try to do is I want to... So in .NET, dependency injection is a big thing, right? So when you're defining your whoops, I never know how to get out of this. Whenever I open that search box, I never know how to get out of it. So what I was going to say is when I'm defining the, I guess the listeners, the handlers, instead of capturing these services here or these dependencies here as a closure, in a closure, right? So I basically, this logger is held on the worker, right? And I'm capturing it in the on. Instead, what I want to do is I want to be able to get the logger inside the handler. So I want to be able to do like SP and then say var logger and probably not logger worker, probably just iLogger. Let's see. So there's something in the .NET DI container called service. I think it's like service provider factory or service scope. Service scope. An iService scope controlling the lifetime of the scope. Once this is disposed, any disposed services that have been resolved from the service provider will also be. So I think I want to do something like that. I think I want to inject the service scope factory and I think each handler has its own scope. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Okay. Oh. Love you. No, I don't. Those are very intrusive thoughts. Just you. Oh yeah, Ivan. Oh wow, Ivan, I didn't know you were a refugee. I hope everything's cool over there, man. I hope you found a nice place to be safe with all the craziness that's going on over there. Ivan, it's alive. I know. That's the best part of any project is when you finally get to a point where like you can see the shit doing what you wanted it to do. Crazy. Which laptop should I get? Any idea? I'm thinking of pursuing coding, but my old laptop is 4 gigabytes of RAM. Lags too much. Yeah, I think you definitely want to try to get a laptop with at least 16 gigs of RAM, for sure. You know, and if you're going to be doing game development stuff, then that's a whole different ball of wax. But if you're going to be doing just like basic web dev stuff, I think get yourself something with 16 gigabytes of RAM and I don't know, 256, 512, basically as much storage, right, as you can afford. And you should be fine. Jiggle. Sorry, I don't know what that was about. In C#, do you... You're really committed to calling it C#, aren't you? Do you need to worry about the call stat getting stinky if you put that inner switch statement in its own function call? I'm not sure I know what you mean. Jingle. Also, do you have a debugger workflow in Vim? I'm curious on how debuggers even work in C#. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, I have a debugger. Yeah. So you can do yeah, so I could debug this. So I can say like I think I can, yeah, I can come in here and debug this. So let's do so I'll set a breakpoint here, and then I can say DC, and then it's picking up the fact that I have multiple configurations. So I'll just do the worker. And it opens a little debug window over here. But obviously I'm stepping through. Oh, I guess I have a breakpoint set over there. My window's a little too narrow though. I can't get to my other I can't get to the continue buttons. So that's not gonna work. But yeah, I do have a debugger workflow. It doesn't work for me so well when my window is so tiny. But I have one. That was actually like a hard deal breaker. Like if I couldn't set up a debugger in NeoVim, then I wasn't gonna be able to be a NeoVim user. I don't know how people do things without debuggers. Ali, hello Ali, how are you? Omorui, new here. What are we building? We're trying to figure out how to build a Discord bot, Omorui. And look, we actually kind of have one built. We're just adding the functionality to respond to events, but I can show you what I have so far, right? So here is my Discord bot right there. And pretty soon, before long, we're going to hook this up into my actual server, and we can do fun things with it. But we have Discord bot. It's offline. And if I do .NET run, oh, whoops, hold on. This is gonna fail because I changed the method signature over here. One second. Fixing. 1 second. There we go. So we'll connect. We should see my bot come online. This is really the only thing it does right now. So it comes online, has a little presence, and then we can disconnect from it, and it'll say taking a break. It'll go idle essentially, and then after a little bit it'll switch to being offline. And so now what we're doing is we're working on implementing the functionality to be able to register basically callbacks, event listeners that can do stuff. So one that I want to add is basically whenever a new person joins my server, I want to send a message back to them and basically, hey, what's up? You know, thanks for joining the server. Maybe here's some things to look at. Here's some rules. So yeah, that's what we're building. Hello, Ali. Jiggle, you don't do things without debuggers, but that's hella tight. Yeah, I don't know how people do like printf debugging, right? Like I mean I can console log and printf and console.writeline my way through a problem, but man, that is so much more painful than just being able to set some breakpoints and step through the application. And yeah, all that good stuff. All right, so let's add some overloads here. Let's say void on string event name func. Well, that's interesting. Only call it once. That would be a kind of an interesting overload. So we're gonna have Discord event followed by, I think we want to do like an iService provider. Yeah. In which case then we need to have an auth for that as well. But how's this going to work for my dictionary? Am I going to have separate collections? I don't think I want that. I don't think I want to have separate dictionaries that I have to. Yeah. I guess the other option is to just get rid of this. Which means then what I would do is I guess in here then I would say iService provider like this. iService provider. Then we gotta change the dictionary signature. And then when we call it, let's see, when we call it down here, oh, we need to inject the, let's see, private read only service scope factory, like that. And then we'll also inject that at the constructor. There we go. All right, then we'll come down to handle events. Then I think then we're gonna say using, create the scope. That. I think that's okay. Because the handler will run, and then this scope will be disposed when we leave this if statement, because we're using the using keyword. Okay, so now let's go back to our worker. And then if we were going to do this, we'd have to pass a discard character, right? That basically says we don't want to do anything with the service provider. But in this case, we should prefer to use the service provider. Instead of capturing things in these scopes, we should instead be able to say var logger equals get the logger, and then instead of saying underscore logger, we'll use the logger that we resolved from the service provider's scope. And we'll do the same thing here. And then we can make that static because we're not capturing anything in that closure anymore. Okay, then everything should still behave the same way if I've done this right. Let's see. No service for type Microsoft extensions logger. Oh, we threw an exception while we were trying to handle that. So we should probably put a try catch around that. So let's go back and say which is kind of interesting. We might want to give them a hook into that to know that their handler encountered an exception, maybe. In any event, I'm thinking too much about the client as if like I'm building it for other people when I'm really just building it for this specific application. So I think what we're going to do here then is we're going to say try we're basically going to wrap this in a try block. Like this. And then we'll say no, we're going to catch any exception that occurs, we're going to catch it. So we're going to disable that rule temporarily. We should also probably dot we should be able to add our cancellation token in there to do pass cancellation token. Alright, so now if we come back here and one of the handlers fails, it shouldn't crash the connection. Cool. Much better. Much better. So let's try to go back to our... So how do I get a logger that's just of a generic... I guess let's do iLogger Discord gateway client, maybe? Get that logger. There we go. Very cool. Very cool. I'm liking this. I'm liking how this is coming together. It took a long time to get to this point, but I'm enjoying that. See you later, Jiggle Jess. Have a nice day. George, what are you guys doing? We're building a Discord bot, or is what we're trying to do. George, what does it do? Right now it does nothing. Right now it can connect. It can update its presence, that it's online and that it's offline. And what else? Yeah, it's kind of it at the moment. What it's going to eventually do, though, is I'm going to use it in my Discord server. Which, if you're welcome to join the Discord server, I'll type !Discord. I'm just going to use it to do fun things in my Discord server. The first thing I'm going to have it do is I'm just going to have it post a welcome message to new people who join, and then the other idea that's been bantered around in chat sometimes is like have it rate the memes that people post in our memes channel. Like basically have an LLM, basically have the bot take the meme, send it to an LLM, and then have the LLM grade it. Might be fun. I don't know. It depends. I don't know how much more time I'm gonna spend on it, but hopefully we've wrote it in such a way that we've made it pretty easy to extend its functionality. So we'll see. I think the one thing I do need to do is I do need to I need to give myself a way to send events in response to other events. So I think I need to have another parameter here that's like maybe client, and then so Discord event, client, and then service provider. That way I know this client is already connected, and then I could have a method on the client that's like client.send. Right now I don't have anything, but send event async. So I need to come up with that next, probably. Let's see, to do. not add a cancellation token. Add, provide access to the gateway client in delegate. Don't try to resolve it from service provider. I mean, you could resolve it from the service provider. The problem is, and it would work in this case because I've registered my gateway client as a singleton. So you would get the same. You would get the same client back. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm really happy with the way this has turned out so far. I need to write a lot of tests. There's a lot of tests that need to be written to make sure this all works the way I think it should work. Allie, Steven, do you make or know some game engine coding? I don't. I don't do anything with game development. I'd like to learn Godot, but I haven't tried to learn it. Ducky Dev, what's up, Steven? I'm in class. Nice, dude. You better pay attention. Class is important. Got to keep your head on a swivel. All right, honestly, I don't know how much more coding I'm gonna do right now. So I need to do this. What else? To do provide on and off method overloads to allow caller to not need to use discard for unused parameters. Because like I think that's kind of annoying, right? Like if you only want to use the event, you know, I should just take care of that for you inside the client, where I can say, oh, you registered a handler that only has an event, that's fine, but I'm still gonna call it like it. What else? Maybe I want to also in the program CS, kind of talked about this already. Create an extension method that allows adding the Discord gateway client and I can pass what do I want to pass? I basically want to pass a lambda to it, don't I? Or and allows me to configure event handlers. Because I think instead of doing all that setup of my handlers in the worker, I think it's going to make more sense to do that in the program CS, honestly. $222 lines? That's not bad for an hour and a half, huh? What's up, Azim? How are you, man? Yeah, long time no see. I've been around, dude. I don't know where you've been. Just kidding. Just kidding. Nah, I've been around. I bet you've been busy. Working, huh? It's the good way to be. Also, Azim, since you're here, I can show you what I've built. See my little my bot? So if I disconnect, now my bot's taking a break. That's about the only functionality my bot has at this point. I can connect, I can disconnect, and yeah, that's about it at the moment. All right, so should we commit this? Yes, we should commit this. Git add and feature expose methods on client to register event handlers, or they're not really event handlers in the traditional. They're not really event handlers in the like in the sense of .NET. They're more like or C#. They're more like event delegates. Yeah, delegates. Azim, my end semester exams are going. At 23rd of May, I will successfully complete my undergrad and become an engineer. That's fantastic, dude. Congratulations on getting through your undergrad. I know just from my own experience, your undergrad degree, I mean any bit of school, you know, the days feel long and the years feel long, right? It's like how many ever years it took you, you know, it feels like twice that. So congratulations to you, man, for grinding it out and getting through it. I'm gonna have to create some like fake Discord users so that I can test users joining my server. Alright guys, well, that's gonna do it for me. I know it's just an hour and a half, not as crazy as last night's 2.5 hour stream, but solid. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Azim, I'm sorry I'm like, you jump in and I jump out, but timing, you know, it sucks sometimes. Took me 4 freaking years, but I don't know why I don't want this journey to end. Oh man, you're crazy. I mean, I honestly though, I would go back to school. Like I'd go back and get a master's or a PhD in a heartbeat if it didn't cost an arm and a leg, and I still owe money on my undergraduate degree already. So, but yeah, if I was you, I'd be ready for it to end. All right, well guys, I'm gonna pop out of here, go to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, Arvin. Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. See you, Zim. See you, Ducky Dev. Bye, Ali. Anybody else who's still here? George, if you're still here. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.